Krishna and Jarasandha. The Yadava tribe fled to distant Dwaraka to escape the wrath of the mighty Jarasandha, the ruler of Magadha. This king, whose very name made the strong quake, had to be subdued if the Pandavas were to establish their supremacy in the area. Only their cousin Krishna, a Yadava hero, could help them, and this is the tale of his triumph. Now let's get into the details of the story. Krishna and Jarasandha. Krishna outsmarts his fierce adversary. Long, long ago, the handsome, wealthy and powerful king Brihadratha ruled over Magadha. He was married to beautiful twin daughters of the king of Kashi. Though he had two queens whom he loved equally and who loved him in return, the king had no sons. As he sat brooding about this one day, Lord, the illustrious sage Chandrakaushika has come to the city. I must go and pay my respects to him. Taking many gifts with him, Brihadratha went to see the sage. Later, O King of Kings, you have pleased me well. Ask a boon of me. O Rishi, what use have I for a boon? I am about to renounce the kingdom and go into the forest. Cursed as I am, I have no son. The Rishi closed his eyes. Suddenly, let your wife eat this and obtain a son. As Brihadratha walked away with the mango, I cannot give the fruit to one and make the other unhappy. They shall each have half of it. And the king divided the mango between his wives. But when the queens delivered, they had only half a baby each. Alas, I should have let you eat the whole fruit. No, sister, I should have let you eat it. It's too late now. What shall we do with these? Let's cast them off. What else can we do? So the midwives carried the two halves and threw them in the backyard of the queen's apartments. A few hours later, the Rakshasi Jara, who lived on the flesh and blood, came by. Human flesh! I smell human flesh. Her nose led her to the two bundles of flesh. What? One body rent in two? I'll join the halves. It will be easier to carry one bundle. The moment she joined the two pieces, the baby came to life and roared. Hearing the roar, the king, his queens, the midwives, the servants all came running out. Isn't that the virtuous king who longed for a son? I will give him back his child. When they reached her, O king, I, Jara, have saved your son for you. Take him. Good lady, since it was you who put him together and made him complete, he shall be named Jarasandha. When Jarasandha had grown into a mighty young lad, the Rishi came to Magadha. Venerable one, this is the son you promised me. The sage looked at Jarasandha and was pleased. Your son shall become the king of kings. All who stand in his way will meet with destruction, for no king shall equal him in valor. Overjoyed to hear that, Brihadratha turned to his son. Jarasandha, you shall rule Magadha while I retire with your mothers to the forest. Jarasandha ascended the throne and brought almost all the kings of the territories adjoining his kingdom under his sway. With the marriage of my daughters Asti and Prapti to Kamsa, the son of Ugrasena, king of Mathura, even the Yadavas shall wait upon me. But Kamsa was an evil king. He deposed his father and persecuted his own subjects. With the mighty Jarasandha as my father-in-law, I need fear none. None except my nephew Krishna. Before Krishna was born, it had been prophesied that he would kill the evil Kamsa. Fate and the gods conspired against me and foiled my attempts to destroy the child. They say he is living among the Gopas. Gopas are cowherds of Vrindavan with his brother Balarama. I shall invite him to Mathura and kill him. But at the fated hour, it was Kamsa who met with his end at Krishna's hands. Ugrasena was restored to the throne, while all Mathura rejoiced. At Magadha, Jarasandha was infuriated when he saw his widowed daughters. Do not weep, my children. I shall avenge the death of your husband. He turned to his commander. Inform our allies. Rally our armies. I shall rid the earth of that vile Yadava Krishna and all his tribe. A few days later, Krishna's elder brother Balarama came to him. Jarasandha and his allies have besieged the city. It was to be expected. Let us go out and gauge the strength of their armies. As they stood surveying the scene, 2 chariots suddenly descended from the heavens, full of divine weapons. Look, Balarama, chariots, armor, weapons. Quick, let us take with us the men we have and save our race. As they rode out, followed by their small army, I will destroy them all except Jarasandha. When he comes back with more allies, we shall destroy them too. The 2 brothers confronted Jarasandha. Krishna blew his conch, inviting the king to begin the attack. Do you really want to fight? My arrows will send you to heaven. The valiant do not brag but prove their might in action. Without another word, Jarasandha and his huge army charged. But Krishna drew out his bow and let fly his arrows in such quick succession that the field was soon strewn with the bodies of men, horses, elephants, and chariots. The allies and their armies began to flee. Meanwhile, swinging his mace, Balarama, who had taken on Jarasandha's own army, soon destroyed it and seized Jarasandha. He was about to bind him with ropes when, No, Balarama, let him go. Let us inform Ugrasena of our victory and present him with our booty. Utterly humiliated, Jarasandha returned to Girivraja, his capital. I will not give up. I will go back with new armies and teach the Yadavas a lesson. Jarasandha made 17 attempts to avenge the death of his son-in-law and his own successive humiliations. And the 17 times did Krishna decimate his armies, sparing him alone. Meanwhile, Kalayavana, the invincible, was bragging about his valor to sage Narada. I have fought and vanquished many. I am without a rival among men. So are the Yadava heroes, Krishna and Balarama, the foremost of warriors on the earth's surface. The remark was enough to bring Kalayavana with his barbarian heroes to Mathura. As he stood outside the gates of the city challenging the Yadavas, a messenger ran up to Krishna and Balarama. Jarasandha is marching towards the city. He should be here in a day or 2. This is unfortunate. While we are busy fighting the Yavana, Jarasandha will kill or imprison our people. What shall we do? We will have to transport them to a safe place before Jarasandha arrives. Krishna had but to think about it, and the fortress of Dwaraka rose in the western sea. Using his yogic power, Krishna transported the people, the cattle, and the wealth of Mathura to Dwaraka. Then, along with Balarama and a small army of Yadavas who chose to stay and fight, he came out of the city gates unarmed and on foot, while Balarama and the army made straight for the Yadava hordes. Assuming his divine form, Krishna being an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Krishna walked towards the Kalayavana. This is the Yadava, just as Narada described him. I too shall dismount and attack him unarmed. Laying down his weapons, Kalayavana dismounted and rushed forward. But just as he was about to seize him, Krishna suddenly turned around and began walking. Do not run away, O Yadava. It does not become a hero like you. I'll soon overtake you, O cowardly Yadava, and remain unrivaled among men. And he began walking faster. Finding Krishna almost within his grasp, he lurched forward, only to grab the empty air. After walking for miles, they came to the mountain cave of sage Muchukunda. Ah, now you shall not escape me. Groping in the dark, the Yadava followed Krishna. Show yourself, O brave Yadava. Gradually, the Yavana got used to the dark. He saw a man sleeping in the corner of the cave. Ah, there. So the coward is also a weakling. He leads me this far and then falls exhausted. Mistaking the sleeping figure for Krishna, he kicked it. Come on, wake up and fight. The sleeping figure sat up and slowly opened his eyes. Who dares disturb the slumber of Muchukunda? As he looked around for the culprit, his burning gaze fell on Kalayavana. Muchukunda gazed long and hard, and all that was left of Yavana was a handful of ashes. Balarama, meanwhile, was struggling with the Yavana's hordes. He had almost given up hope when, Krishna has returned. Alas, the Yadava returns alone. Our Lord is dead. Together, the two brothers soon killed the entire army. As they were returning to Dwaraka with the treasures of the Yavanas, look, Jarasandha with more men than. I've had enough of fighting Krishna. Let's flee to Dwaraka. They began to run. Ha ha! Look at the brave Yadava heroes. Look at them flee. This time I will not return without killing them. And Jarasandha and his army gave chase. For miles, Krishna and Balarama ran with Jarasandha and his huge army following close behind. At last, Mount Pravarshana. Let's climb it. They will find it difficult to follow us up. Set fire to the mountain. Burn the wild Yadavas alive. As the flames enveloped the mountain, clouding the enemy's vision, quick, now is the chance for us to make good our escape. The two brothers took one mighty leap from the mountain top, crossed the armies surrounding the base of the mountain, landed on the plain unnoticed by Jarasandha's men, and made their way to Dwaraka. Meanwhile, as the fire on the mountain blazed high, Kamsa's death has been avenged. His murderer has been burnt alive. Let us return to Mathura. Later, when Jarasandha learned that they were not dead, all the same, I have won a battle against the hated Yadava. I have chased his tribe out of Mathura. This one victory made Jarasandha conceited and ambitious. I am now the most powerful king on earth. I shall capture all the kings who owe allegiance to the Yadavas and sacrifice them. Jarasandha did not waste any time. Soon, one more. The numbers swell daily. My sacrifice shall be unequaled by any that has been or ever will be performed. Meanwhile, Krishna's cousins, the Pandavas, had just acquired the kingdom of Indraprastha. Everyone was anxious for Yudhishthira to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. Do not delay, O king. Perform the sacrifice and become lord of the earth. To perform the Rajasuya is the privilege of an emperor, and so Jarasandha will have to be defeated. Let me consult Krishna on this. When Krishna came and Yudhishthira asked him his opinion, to perform the Rajasuya, you will have to kill Jarasandha and release the kings imprisoned by him. Since even you were alarmed by his might, how can I ever hope to kill him? At that moment, Bhima, the second of the five Pandavas, who had been listening quietly, suddenly spoke up. Between Krishna, Arjuna and me, we can easily kill the evil Jarasandha. Please permit us to try. Yes, let us go. He who kills Jarasandha and frees his victims will earn immortal fame. But even then Yudhishthira hesitated. No, I cannot send you to certain death for the sake of imperial glory. Arjuna, the third Pandava, then had his say. If we do not undertake the task when we have the ability to do so, we will earn the contempt of all. Permit us to go. Yes, if you have any faith in me. Krishna, my faith in you is firm. Take my brothers and go. May success be yours. Having received Yudhishthira's consent and blessings, Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima set out for Magadha disguised as Brahmins. They reached Jarasandha's palace at the hour when he entertained petitions. O king, we have come from afar for a definite purpose. So please say you will grant us our request. Jarasandha, however, was not wholly taken in. They are bearing those scarred forearms. They are no Brahmins. I think I have seen them before. They have come disguised out of fear of me. Since they have taken the trouble to come here, I will grant them whatever they ask of me. O Brahmins, seek whatever you desire. I am prepared to give you everything, even my head. Then grant one of us a single combat with you. But how can I, the king of kings, lift a weapon against a Brahmin? We are no Brahmins. This is Bhima, son of Kunti. This Arjuna, his younger brother, and I am Krishna, their cousin, and your sworn enemy. Jarasandha laughed contemptuously. Fools! If you seek combat, I will certainly fight, but not with you. Krishna, you are a coward. As for Arjuna, he is too young. He is no match for me. Bhima alone is my equal. I will take him on. Jarasandha threw a huge mace to Bhima and took another for himself. Come, let us go out of the city into the arena. Once inside the arena, the two warriors began their fight. They hurled their maces at each other till the maces broke. Full of rage, they rushed at each other, hitting out with their fists of steel. The blows produced sounds as sharp as thunderclaps. For 27 days they fought, but so well matched were they that neither succumbed to the other's blows. At last, on the 28th day, as Bhima was about to enter the arena, Krishna, I remain undefeated, but I cannot overthrow Jarasandha in a duel. Krishna, who knew the secret of Jarasandha's birth, decided that it was time to end the battle. For having engaged Jarasandha in combat for 27 days, Bhima will achieve enough fame. It's time I showed him how to kill the evil king. Without saying a word, Jarasandha picked up a twig and split it in two lengthways. Ah, now I have it. Bhima strode into the arena with fresh confidence. The first opportunity I get, I must seize him by his feet and throw him to the ground. The rest will be easy. Jarasandha rushed towards him, but Bhima deftly stepped aside. As Jarasandha staggered with the momentum of his charge, Bhima seized him by the leg and hurled him to the ground. Then, pressing one foot of the evil Jarasandha with one of his own, he took hold of the other and, tearing the body of the mighty king in two, flung the two halves away from each other. Great was the outcry among the citizens of Girivraja when they learned that Jarasandha, their invincible king, had fallen. Krishna went to Jarasandha's son. You will have to liberate our allies and accept Yudhishthira as your emperor. If you do, we will install you on your father's throne. I will do as you say. After installing him on the throne, Krishna and the two Pandavas returned to Indraprastha. Yudhishthira, Jarasandha has been killed and the imprisoned kings liberated. His son accepts your supremacy. You are now the king of kings. You may perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. Hope you like the story. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos from Amar Chitra Katha series. Thanks for watching.